Eggpicker wins, says Meltdown Melton. Yeah, I guess the numbers over on Melton's channel must be doing rough because every time he needs to be bailed out statistically, comes right back to his daddy. Right back to his daddy. You know what his big coup is today?
What's that?
Now, this is a guy who hasn't done a stand-up gig in about a decade. And I think he's turned into that comic that's like bitter and wants to show everybody that he was the guy who knew everything all along.
Okay.
And like when you can't get gigs anymore, you're like, well, the business they're not ready for a guy like me.
I was too inside.
Yeah. I mean, the business is not ready for him. I mean, most of the stages are not reinforced.
Yeah.
And you'll go right through.
It's not only that's not the only business. The restaurant business.
The restaurant business is not ready for him. The flight business.
Oh, Jesus.
Is not ready for him. I think that's why he keeps ducking that fight he asked for, is because he says, well, Aaron's going to give me $300-400 towards a flight. That doesn't cover 2 seats.
I mean, I saw a movie where someone like him got moved to like a small town in Africa. They had to do a special trip. Oh, the Operation Dumbo Drop.
That was Operation. Yeah, that's not. He
that's
wasn't
not
in
the
that.
same.
That wasn't him.
Yeah,
that was somebody else.
Must have been a family member.
Yeah, that was different. So anyway, he decided. You know what he's gonna do? He gets this bitterness about me every once in a while. I think it's because we don't really talk about him. We make fun of his belly once in a while and then kind of move on. We do find the obsession funny, I will admit. We do find it funny that he's put himself in the loop of, oh shit, I can't stop talking about this guy or else I'm going to fall apart. He's now gone, well, we're going to watch his set from the Chrissy, Nick Rekieta and everything else show, and we're going to go through that. And I'm like, I mean, if you want to watch all of us kill.
Yeah, that was a really good night. Nick did amazingly well, even. I mean,
yeah.
Who are you going to complain about?
I mean,
if recorded it?
If you want to watch it and then yell at the sky and be angry that we're doing a gig, which is where all of this comes from, then I guess that's fine.
You're going to set yourself up for disappointment. We're doing stand-up comedy, which you're not, and it's working, which yeah. I don't know if you've seen that before firsthand.
Yeah, I mean, the room was packed. That's another thing you're not used to. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he thought we were doing poorly because he always thought he was doing well, and we're doing the opposite of what he's doing.
I think he always thought the rooms were packed because he filled them himself. Like, he covered all the seats.
That could be it. But yeah, he tweeted at me too, totally showing he's not begging for attention. He tweeted at me, he's like, we're going to watch Aaron's set. And I'm like, all right, get ready for all the laughs in it. Are you going to edit those? You probably should. If you're trying to make me look like shit, you should probably edit all the laughs out because
just put some crickets in there. And
then he went like SJW in the tweet. He's like, come watch his racist dated set. And I'm like, first of all, thank you. Second of all, worked great. And third of all, do you really want to set yourself up to be the guy who's like, I'm going to point out just how racist and terrible that is? I mean, I've walked you into so many knots now that you now have to position yourself as the race police in comedy in order to play a clip of me. I mean, I've said it before. Patrick Melton's the king of self-ownership. I think the Red Bar stuff kind of destroyed him. But this is a new level. Watching someone else kill. See, this is the problem when you make your whole show, this guy sucks. Mm-hmm. If you make your show, this guy sucks, and then you just keep showing clips of him doing better than you,
it doesn't really work.
It doesn't work. He's really bad at this whole thing. But I will say this. You have my permission. You have my blessing. Enjoy it. Your show is pretty much made up of the anti-steel toe subreddit.
At the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So all of you enjoy it. I love watching you guys seethe over us. I guess this is a year now since we were supposed to die.
Yeah.
And we didn't die. Congratulations. Best of luck. And maybe you'll learn something. Maybe he'll get a gig out of this.
Or if nothing else, you can figure out what a laughing audience seems like, and you can work towards it.
You could work towards that. You could even steal my jokes if you wanted to. They're all off the cuff anyway. We don't write any of this shit down. Just, go ahead and steal it. See if you can get yourself a gig. If you want me to call, I could call somebody and try to get him a gig.
Maybe Adrian's looking.
That, he could open for Adrian. Now, he's kind of like Paulie in Rocky 3. Where he cries and he throws punches at Rocky and then afterwards runs out of breath and goes, can I have a job? And Rocky's like, all you had to do was ask. So if you wanted me to get you booked, I'd have put in a phone call. Coltrane says, why are we still talking about these nobodies? I just wanted to tease him a little bit. I wanted to give him a little shit. He thought watching me kill for a sold-out show was somehow doing something like edgy and different, and being the race police was a good look for him. I just want to have a little fun.
Because you've put out this big passion of we don't do edgy race humor ever. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, if we suddenly break that rule for a show, it's all...
So then someone sent me a clip of him crying on stage because of a heckler.
Oh, Jesus.
This could be...
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah. So Eggpicker sent me a clip. I don't know how long this is. Oh, God, I'm not going to watch at 27 minutes. Oh, good. He timestamped it for us. So I guess he starts crying because he's getting heckled. Now, this is the guy that he said didn't pay him when the guy was just booking it. He wasn't the guy who pays you.
Yeah.
So he started trashing this guy, Butch Bradley, on the internet, whining that he didn't get paid a few $100 for a gig, which is embarrassing that you'd go and admit something like that. But I guess he's always had this attitude of like the guy, I know comedy and I know I'm good at comedy. And then the business spit him out. I think he watched his co-host Josh Denny do better than he did, and that kind of fucked with him.
Yeah.
Then Red Bar destroyed him, and that kind of fucked with him. And now he's playing Us Killing at a sold-out show and promoting it as like, this is my big day.
I'm going to own these guys.
Not realizing he's basically doing it for a subreddit. And that's it.
I would like to hope he knows that's like, oh, this is the only... I'm feeding the meat to these because this is the only way I'm going to get them. Here you go. Here's your red meat. Go dive in on it.
He has thanked me before for resurrecting his channel, which is sad because if you have to be resurrected to grabbing onto a nobody's coattails, that's rough. That's not exactly a resurrection. I got bad news. You're still dead. You're still in hell with the rest of us.
Yeah, we're all still nobodies.
So let's watch him cry. Thank you, Eggpicker.
It worked out great. I'm serious. Like, why every line I say do you need to talk back? Like, I don't know you.
And still, they want drugs.
I'm in paranormal activity 17 right now. What are you saying now?
I'm just doing a bit. I'm sorry. It's the truth.
Can I?
It's the truth, though. Oh Dude, shut up. I'm sorry.
I'm trying.
He is getting pissy about, like, instead of handling a heckler and, like, having some fun with him.
Yeah, he's bitching about it, and now he's kind of making the odds like, guys, he won't let me do my set.
He's sulking now. Like, there's no sulking on stage. Be racist before you sulk. Good Lord.
If that guy is jumping in at you, he's giving you free time. You don't have to do your material. He's right there.
By the way, October 30th. So 8 years ago, I believe this is one of his last gigs he ever did.
Ooh.
8 years ago. That's rough.
I'm going to be doing another gig this December just to remind myself I'm still a comedian. So.
Yeah, every once in a while I do it so I can just go. It's like renewing your membership card.
Well, Jonah got a hold of him. He's like, hey, man, it's been a while since you've been at the Beaver. And I'm like, all right, let's do one. He's like,
doing one in December.
Doing one in December.
I don't think I'm going to get asked back after I
forgot
that I didn't cancel mine.
That might not go well.
My bad.
Guys.
Sleep. Scared. Anybody know what the drugs are?
Dude, like, fucking comedy show. Fuck.
I love how the crowd has to now try to take care of the heckler.
Crowd has to now do it because the comedian has literally frozen on stage. He stood there silent this whole time while they're talking amongst themselves.
He's B. Rabbit at the beginning of 8 Mile.
He's the audience and they're the performer.
Because he's a guy who he knows how comedy's supposed to go. He gets how the art's supposed to be. And it's not going his way. And why won't you guys listen to my brilliant art? Dude, this is the problem with most failed comics like him. They don't understand. You're not an artist. You're not fucking up there showing everybody a new way. You're making drunks laugh. That's your job. A kill is a kill is a kill. Everyone has this idea that there's a cheap kill or cheap heat or there's a good kill or there's a bad kill. If the people who pay you are happy with the way the audience reacted, if they laughed, if they drank, if they ordered an extra set of chicken tenders,
you did your job.
You did your job. You did well. It's like a roofer going, oh, I think I need to nail my initials into one of the shingles so people know it was me. No, you need to build a roof that doesn't leak. That's it. If you're a comic, you got to make people laugh. if you do play my clip today, which I would strongly urge you to do so people can hear laughter on your show. If I were to play mine and I were to play yours, I did my job. You did not do your job. You fucked up, and that's why you're not getting gigs anymore, because you thought you were more cerebral than you were. I know this is going to hurt, Pat, but you're not as smart as you think you are. And that's the worst insult I can give you. You have an overinflated sense of your own intelligence and artistry, you cringe, than is perceived by the general public.
I'm not saying there's no art to comedy. I'm just saying if you take our art down to its chorused form, like its childlike form, it's fart jokes. So just understand what you're doing.
Right. You make these people laugh, you get more gigs. You don't make people laugh, you don't get more gigs. You didn't make people laugh. When people heckled baby boy Patrick, who was up there to get his mommy and daddy attention he never got, which is what his steel toe thing is too. It's attention from dad that he never got. He pouts. Instead of making this guy part of the show and just leaning on him like we do, he pouts. He's literally pouting here.
That wasn't fun.
I mean, how long do you want to do this? I don't know what to do.
Oh, that's a great thing to hear.
No drugs.
We're on the road. We're on the road, and you win. We're on the road.
We've been backed over.
We're on the road. We're on the road. You win.
I mean, if this guy mentions drugs again when I
We're on
talk,
the road.
what does that mean?
It
Those are
means
words.
look into my eyes.
No, Butch, but I can't. If every word I say, this guy's gonna go drugs.
So then fucking work with it.
No, do you know who that was? That was Butch Bradley, a more experienced working comic who's still working in Vegas now. He's telling Patrick, we're on the road. We're on the road, meaning, dude, this is what happens. Like, you get heckled.
You
Deal
get
with
heckled,
it.
you're on it. Yeah, deal with this shit. But more importantly,
no.
if you know that guy is going to say drugs to every word you say, you know what he's going to do. Play with it.
Have something ready, you know? Take some of my racist jokes. Could have some of those. Maybe he's black. By the way, that black guy, thoroughly entertained. That made me very upset. So I've never had this. I've had hecklers before, and you just deal with them, and they become fans at the end of the show because you had fun with them. I've never had another comic. I've never had a comic try to save me from a heckler, but I've never had a comic from the back of the room tell me,
give you
hey,
a therapy session.
tell me, hey, buck up, you fucking pussy. This is the way stand-up goes. He's like, you're on the road. We're on the road. Meaning, like, this is what you deal with. This is what you have to do when you're a traveling comic.
This
you have
is
to deal
literally
with
your
this.
job, buddy.
So you've got 3 people heckling him. He's looking to another comic, begging him to help him. And the other comic goes, do your fucking set, you dipshit. Oh, this is funny. I mean, Patrick, if you think that me killing in front of a group of people with material that you deem too offensive for you, if you think that's bad, oof, take a look at this every day and say, if I do the opposite of that, maybe they'll start letting me work in comedy again.
You kind of sounded like Bane for a minute there. It's just, oh, your comedy material is too offensive for you.
Yeah. Aaron's comedy is way too racist for you.
with that.
Do you feel like a working comic?
Everyone can't just keep going, just go to me. Just go. Like, because every time I start to go, everyone yells shit.
That's how I feel in the bathroom.
Please, sir, go. This is what I'm saying. Like, everyone's a comic in here.
Oh, this room
so
is
I don't know what
dead.
to do right now. Like, it's funny.
Oh, you never admit that you don't know what to do. Patrick, this might be why you're not working anymore. And you know what the saddest thing is? He probably put way more time and effort and his life's blood into doing this than I ever did. One of us can do a gig whenever we want to, and the other one can't beg for one.
I can at least beg for one. I'm just too proud.
Yeah, pride. Can you believe this? Pride. This guy.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes, but seriously, man. Like, what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to be funny.
You're supposed to fuck around and play with the guy. You're supposed to smash a heckler into obedience. That's what you do in this business. You smash a heckler into obedience. You bend him to your will. Do I have to hold your hand just like I do your fucking streaming career? Hold your hand and teach you how to do this shit? Oh my God. Now this is the only time I've ever seen him work. I understand why nobody books him now. And I also understand why the owner of this club This is the gig that he bitches about that he said he never got paid for. I wouldn't pay the fucker for this either.
Yeah, dude, this is a bad open mic set.
Right.
Like, I've seen open micers that have better sets that, like, there was one that used to perform all the time that had this weird, like, nervous tick of when he did a joke and it didn't seem like it was landing. You just go, I don't know where I was going with that. And then he'd go into something else. And it was
that did better than...
That did better than this. Because even then, like, even if the joke was working or not working, he at least bailed out, moved on, kept going. This guy's literally like, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to stand here.
And can you also believe he's gotten fatter than this?
Yeah, I can.
That's brutal.
Okay, where are you in time?
I don't have a clue. I've been up here over 15, 20 minutes.
All right, you can come off and
Well,
off.
let me do a joke.
Oh, great. Let me do a joke.
Wait a minute. Nobody's stopping him from doing a joke. You're the one who started whining and complaining that people weren't listening to your genius. You're the one who won't do a joke, you crybaby. He hasn't gotten better at this either, because when his chat turns on him, he quits his show.
Oh.
Like, he rages and he's mad because he's built himself into a steel toe prison where if he wants to talk about some obscure Las Vegas guy that he has an axe to grind with,
Nobody
they start
cares.
bitching and they go, we came here to hate steel toe. And then he goes, I'll leave. I'll just leave. I'll get out of here. And then he rage quits. He was doing the same thing on stage. He's like, no, he's literally whining. I know, I don't want to leave. I'm going to want to do a joke, but they won't let me.
You have a joke. There's a guy that keeps saying drugs to everything. It's a joke waiting for you.
You've got at least a free 7 minutes with these assholes, and you won't take it.
What was I saying? I don't remember.
I wanted to hear the conversation, Henry.
Oh, this was funny. If I can remember it. Yeah, this is just for you.
Everyone's just awkward and
I
silent.
guess you guys can listen to. Is she throwing up? Oh boy, a lot of gurgling. Sorry, but it's just so frustrating.
There wasn't even forget laughing. There wasn't an audible response to any of that.
That is, and this is something like I've seen rough sets from first timers on open mics before. This is below that.
This is how an open micer deals with bombing. They start talking about non sequiturs like, oh, is she puking? Oh, that's weird. Oh, you start pointing at shit and saying, oh, that's weird. Oh, that's strange. Oh, you know what you're doing in that moment?
That's interesting.
You're digging for something.
You're just thinking in the back of your head,
Yeah.
what the can I say?
Oh, thank you, Eggpicker, for sending us this.
You cool now? We'll get you drugs later.
Oh, great. Now you want to play with him.
But if you're cool now, then we're good.
All right.
Yeah,
Just
fist
bang it
bump.
out.
Oh, it's a black guy, too. You could have done my racist jokes. He was black.
So literally a black guy begging for drugs. You could have just looked at him. You could have just been like, hey, man, I get it. Stereotypes are a thing. You don't need to be one right now.
Wait.
That's a joke right there.
Way to rise above. Way to rise above. Oh, you couldn't do a black guy. You couldn't handle a dark as night black heckler asking for drugs. I would think that somebody came to my show and set me up for that in case I bombed. They would set that guy up as like a, in case of emergency, break glass.
In case of emergency, beg for drugs.
Yeah. That guy was your safety valve.
See, like, for me, I'd look at that guy and he'd be begging for drugs. I'd be like, nope, I can see what this is. Like, Jesus.
Not like you're thinking. That's gross. Now it's all fucking awkward in here. Like we all got the tension.
You made it.
You made, bro, you made the tension. You're the one who whined and cried the last 2 minutes.
Just go. Are you guys good? We're gonna bring it back now to a.
Go.
I wanted to hear the conversation.
We
Yeah,
love
I understand,
you.
but you understand.
Squid.
You're too.
Wait, are they saying they want to hear the conversation? Like they want him to talk to the hecklers?
I have no idea. So they said, but someone else said, we love you. Just like, oh, yeah, you really need that. I need love and affection.
So she's like, I want to hear the conversation. And now he's going to yell at the audience again because he's open mic fatty Patty who's going, no, you guys don't understand. I know the way it's supposed to go. You guys don't know.
He's been bipolar this whole time.
Oh, man, Patrick, they're the customers. Just make them happy. That's all you got to do. Make them laugh. You're not an artiste, all right? You're a fat man who didn't know how else to make a living. And this this ended up washing out too until you found me.
This whole thing started with him complaining about getting heckled and not being able to do his jokes. So everyone shut up and let him do his jokes, and he went back to the hecklers.
Patrick, even with me, you're still too poor to afford health insurance. I mean, you're not in any position to dictate to someone how this works. Steal my jokes.
I want to hear it again now, though.
Go. Yeah, I want you angry.
I'm not angry.
I want you not.
I'm baffled.
The whole crowd is turned on
Now
him.
it's just weird.
You made it weird.
It's incredibly awkward because you're doing it.
He is not going to keep melting down for the next 2 minutes.
That all dolphins have corkscrew penises.
Yes,
all
we did.
dolphins sex is rape.
Yes.
Now it's even more awkward. Go, do your bit. Boom.
The guy goes, dolphin, something about dolphin sex, and he goes, there, now it's even more awkward. Do your bit. Go. This is great. Now I see why Butch didn't pay him. Now I'm totally on Butch's side. I wouldn't pay an open micer to trick me into giving him a headline set.
This was a headline set?
Oh, God, if it's not. If he couldn't even do a headline set in a full room, or an empty room, I'm sorry, yikes.
Dolphins have 3 penises.
This is
Wow. He is dying. I've never seen anything
You
like
guys
this.
happy about Halloween?
Yeah. Halloween, fucking pumpkins and shit.
I didn't need a bunch of hashtags about it.
Hashtag pumpkin.
Nobody's. Oh, and the one guy in the middle here walked, so he's gone. He's done.
Yep.
It sounded like there's maybe 6 people in that room.
It really seems like he's driven the whole room out, and he's responded to it just, I'm just going to stand here.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick, have you tried bringer shows? Oh, wait, you have to have friends for that. That's not going to work. I'm trying to revive the motherfucker's career. It's dead on arrival. He can't get gigs. The last gig he got, he bombed so badly, you would think it was an open micer set. I'm trying to help the guy. I'm telling him to steal my jokes, but he's too sensitive about them. He thinks they're racist.
Which, again, dude, I mean, that might seem like a low dig, but if you had taken the low road, you would have won this set and that guy over.
Patrick, you haven't done a comedy gig in 8 years. I just performed a sold-out show with a bunch of my friends. You should be stealing from me, Patrick. You need me. You don't understand this. You need to steal from me. Take what I have. It's more than what you have. Patrick, I don't need to do comedy. It's more than what I need. I have an abundance. I can give it to you. You can get back on your feet again. Patrick, why must I be your father that supports you, that pays for your studio apartment while you chase your dream? And then you don't take my advice. It's hurtful.
I was just asking if you were pumped for Halloween. I'm pumped for Halloween. My favorite costume that I've seen this year is gay.
Homophobic.
It's so hard, Butch. It's so hard.
Oh, that's such
Why is it hard? Somebody just muttered something. Ignore it and tell your fucking joke. God, he is soft. He is maybe the most sensitive, soft man I've ever seen stand on a stage.
So his big joke was, my favorite costume this year is gay.
That's homophobic, by the way. You shouldn't be talking like that.
I mean,
As the official semen tester
this,
of Steel Toe, you should know that that's
I am not
homophobic.
oh, Jesus.
We'll just skip that joke, I guess.
Oh,
You know,
great.
you know what? Good idea. They clapped. Is there anything sadder than solo clapping?
I just really feel like at this point, everybody else is like, well, we're done.
Well, thank you guys for coming out tonight. I appreciate it.
Come on, man. Come on.
Everybody has been a good sport. Everybody was a good sport for the most part. I just can't concentrate. I'm being talked to by 20 people, Butch.
It's comedy, you fucking idiot. You can't handle people heckling you? Then you don't, then it's good that you got out. Well, you didn't get out of the business. The business got out of Patrick Melton. But if you can't handle that, then yeah, you've got to go. And 20 people? Dude, I don't think I've ever performed for that small a crowd.
Yeah, I have.
I
That's
don't,
fine.
okay, sorry. I don't think, one time. The Vikings were in the playoffs against the Packers, and I had to MC a set at Benton Station.
Okay, so
And there were like 6 people there. So I have done that. But, okay, that was about 10 or 11 years ago when I first started. So, Patrick, I mean, if you can't handle 20 people in a room at Butch Bradley's Comedy Hideaway, ooh, boy.
Like, it's tough. It's a little tough.
oh, then
to,
don't
like,
do
not be
it.
able to get anything going.
Then that guy goes to drugs. I love
Drugs.
that guy. I would have had a field day. I could have done a whole set with just that guy.
Drugs did your set for you.
He would have been my black ventriloquist puppet.
Dude, what the fuck?
Thank you guys very much for coming out. I appreciate it. We have 2 shows tomorrow night, and they should be good.
Oh, he's going up there to save him.
We have 2 shows tomorrow night, and they should be
So
good.
Patrick Melton. I know you thought you were helping.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Stay there now. And I know you thought you knew exactly. You were psychically knowing that he does have drugs.
See? Butch is up there trying to play
He's
with him.
playing with the drugs bit.
I feel bad for Butch because he has to try and pull that thing out of the water.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was bad. I mean, he wanted my attention. He said, I'm going to watch your set. And I'm like, all right, I killed. There's a lot of laughs. Maybe that's why he thought it didn't go well. Because
This
he heard
isn't what
laughter,
happens when I
laughter.
do comedy.
Yeah. When I do my cerebral shit, nobody laughs. Oof, I'm writing that one down. That was fun. That was a good time. Hey, Patrick, sorry about the backfire today, buddy. I apologize. I apologize for your backfire. No Speaky Ingley says, yeah, Aaron, Melton should be called B-Rabbit. I mean, it was very much a choking moment. J-Dub says, yeah, the 2-drink minimum at comedy clubs is a dead giveaway. Get 'em drunk. Ooh, boy. Yeah, if you can't work with a heckler to get somewhere,
You're in trouble.
that's a rough one. Skills Carmite says, Josh Denny trying to collab with Steel Toe, I saw. I would do something with Josh. I didn't hear that, though. Skills says, did Steel Toe fire that blonde chick? This her replacement? This dude is funnier. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, April. We got to know the schedule by now, guys.
It's been the same for a while.
Oh, I'm just checking out the chat, just catching up. Hulkamash says, this is depressing to listen to. I know, I felt like we had to pause it and bring the mood up a little bit because it was such a bummer.
It just seemed like we were at a therapy session. Someone was complaining about their feel. They won't let me do my stuff. I don't know what to do anymore. Okay.
Papa Dan says the most upsetting part of this video is that it doesn't end with him pissing himself before walking off stage awkwardly. You don't know he didn't. Balls Deep says Melton is only funny to 12-year-olds who torture animals. I would probably agree with that. Ian Hawk's Marriage says Fatty is panicking on stream right now because of this. Well, you know what? He doesn't have to panic. He could just walk off stage like he always does when shit gets tough.
Oh, what are you panicking about? We just gave you some pointers. Again,
Right.
lean in on the black drugs guy.
Patrick, I'm trying to help you. Ian Hawk's Marriage says Melton is in hardcore cope mode right now. You've got to be kidding. I thought this was his big day. He was going to play our racist set and talk about how bad and racist we were. Pat, it was a full show. People were having a great time. Unlike you, Pat, I do my job. They bring me in there for a comedy show, and guess what? The people laugh. The people love it. We have an after party. People are drinking. They're having a great time. You know what? You know who loves the Steel Toe comedy shows? I know Patrick doesn't, but
Who?
the bars.
Oh, yeah.
The bars
They're very, very happy.
love them. The only bar that loves Patrick is Red Bar.
And that one might be closed.
Yeah, he did a show yesterday.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Red
It's all
Bar's
pretty
back. Red Bar made it back. Eastwood says you can tell this is bugging Melton. Guy gets very sensitive. What? Did we not try to help the guy?
good. Yeah.
God, I save his channel once. He gets mad at me for it.
It was constructive criticism.
I'm just trying to tell you, maybe you should take some of my racist jokes. I'm sorry, Patrick, but I saw the black guy talking about drugs heckling you. My mouth started watering. I'm like, I wanted to be on that stage.
Yeah, dude. He kept begging for drugs, and I just want to say, yeah, of course you're not begging for your kids back. Like, again, there's so much you could do with it.
And you know what? That black guy would love you.
He would have laughed his balls off because he's part of the show now.
Oh, boy. He would have had a great time. Oh. But you had to just cry because no one wanted to listen to your art. Now, MM says, you're watching a set from 10 years ago. Yeah, that's the last time he worked. What do you want from me?
He showed the last time we were on stage. We did him one better. We showed his.
Right. You showed my last time on stage, which went remarkably well. And then I showed your last time on stage.
It's not our fault that our last time was like a half a month ago and his was 10 years. We don't control these.
Now, Patrick, if you just would have not tagged me in your thing and just had a fun little time on your Steel Toe Boring Show subreddit morning show, then you would have been fine. But you wanted daddy's attention. You got it. I made fun of you a little bit. I mean, we went pretty light on him.
Yeah.
We've been known to lean in before. I wouldn't consider that leaning in. That was, you know what that was? Good-natured ribbing.
If we had gone any heavier, he would have fallen through the stage.
Hobo Chili says the only bar that Patrick likes is fudge. Oh. See, now that just seems like a fat joke. Pine Belt Adventures says, didn't Red Bar scam a comedy club? Yeah, the rumor is that he took money from his partners out of the comedy club, and when they discovered it, he had to quit. Yeah, a lot of those guys are they're all like Patrick, Red Bar, they're all just kind of scumbags. They're all just bad dudes who then cope with being bad dudes by convincing themselves and anyone who will listen that they're the righteous ones who have all these rules and edicts that everyone has to play by.
Okay.
And then, of course, no, Charlie, not now, God damn it. I would owe so many people money if I talked to you right now. Gray Idol says, don't believe the trolls that he's freaking out. He just got another 3 months of content. I hope so. We're trying to help the guy.
We're keeping him afloat.
We're trying to keep the guy in the game.
We
by
are
helping
his
him
life
out.
preserver.
God, you try to help a guy and he gets all pissy. You don't help a guy and he begs for your attention. Wouldn't have said a word if he wouldn't have tagged me in a tweet.
Again,
And then I didn't even know that set existed. Someone had to send it to us. I don't know. How can I make you happy?
kind of like the set itself. It's like, oh, I don't want this attention from this guy. Well, then don't bring him into it. The same way, like, I don't want to deal with these hecklers. Then do your jokes.
Do your joke.
Oh, I can't do my jokes now. The hecklers heckled me. So what's up, guys? Like, work with the crowd or don't. Pick one.
Annoyed Wawa supervisor says we were planning on opening on Fremont Street last year. That would have been huge for Wawa.
Yeah.
What happened? But Melton came to our soft open and ate us out of house and home. We tried calling his parents for payment, but he did the same to them. Shit.
He ate their phone?
God. Patrick, that's not fiber. All right, guys, let's do a show today. I just thought we'd have a little fun. Look, again, if I were to give him advice, I would have never tagged me in the tweet. I would have, sprung it on us and just went, ugh, here's Aaron's set. Since we all hate him anyway, we'll just say it sucks. It's like, okay, I mean, we killed. It was a sold-out show. We had a great time.
You can say our show sucked all you want.
I mean,
the people
yeah.
there didn't, so that's all we care
Right.
about.
Patrick, again, I'll give you this advice. Making the audience laugh is your only job.